Well, the world in which we live in has certainly taken a change, and many of us have been now stuck at home for going on a couple months here. And I think, yet again, unfortunately, we've let ourselves fall victims to the politicians and the talking heads, and yes, even some scientists that have taken an issue that should be unifying and again let us become gullible participants in a level of divisiveness with this issue that's been hijacked once again, not for our own good. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some things that you perhaps can control coming up here, and I want to hopefully shift your perspective about what's going on with this coronavirus issue. You see, this isn't going to be the last issue that we face like this. There'll be more coming down the pike, and I want to talk to you about why. We've certainly seen this disease spread, and I'll put out to you for you to think about and raise your consciousness about this, that as we look at this disease and how it's spread throughout the world, it's followed patterns of over farming and use of chemicals in farming and poor air quality and poor water quality. In general, I would say poor overall health. Specifically, I would say that the prevalence of chronic diseases and conditions that present the opportunities for this virus have put many people in a position where they're much more vulnerable and susceptible than they really need be. You see, we can heal ourselves and prevent this disease and other diseases to come if we take better overall care of our health. We don't need to live this way. We don't need to live with this anxiety and this stress and the fear and the frustration and the unknown and the diverse opinions that we're getting from the screens and from the computers and from the politicians and from other folks. And what we need to do is go back to a perspective that we used to have, that we would take care of ourselves. We shouldn't be dependent upon yet another pill to cure our ills. We shouldn't be dependent upon a vaccine coming 12 or 18 months down the road, or perhaps a concoction of a repurposing of another drug or regimen that's already out there. You see, we need to realize that this is an issue, that what we've done to the earth, what we've done to our air, is coming back to haunt us. Fine particulate matter that's in cities like you're seeing depicted here is part and parcel responsible for many chronic diseases and conditions, including diabetes. This is one of the things, as you know from the press, that's making people most susceptible. I had the opportunity to travel the world several years ago, and in remote places, far away from anything else, we would see beaches littered with pollution like this. There is very little clean water left on our planet. And not to mention the way farming is being done here in the States. You know, soybeans are being grown to be shipped to China because China does not have the clean soil, the vital soil that it needs, does not have the ability to have the water to grow these things. We're not exporting soybeans when we export these things. And what is it doing is it's killing our soil. And as we kill the microbiome in our soil, we're killing the microbiomes in our bodies. And a majority of our immune defense system that has primary pass at these agents that come into our bodies needs to have a healthy gut. We're making choices, but we're just not making good choices. And we're reaching for pills instead of reaching for other things that could fix us. It doesn't have to be too late. I don't want to sound all dire for you. What I'm telling you is that we can reclaim our health. We don't need to end up in the hospital, whether it's this disease or other chronic diseases and conditions, or this virus or the next one that comes down the pike. We need to pay attention to things that can decrease our anxiety, that can help us sleep better. We need to start trying to eat better. We need to take some friends along for the ride with that. I know that people can do this if they just become more aware. And look, they don't have to be thinking that you're going to end up looking like a supermodel or like somebody in these commercials that are sold to you about people eating unhealthy food that look great. And it's never too late for us to start, even if we feel it is. We need to detach from the screens. Our brains have been hijacked. We've been turned into primal people that are jacked up all the time, looking for what's wrong, looking for something to be divisive, pumping up the cortisol in our bodies, stressing our systems out. And look, I know this can be frustrating. I've got family members that have been through these types of situations, as well as myself, who suffered with some chronic conditions when I was younger. And I just get frustrated. I don't want people to think they're trying to look like a fit model. We can all make better decisions on what we put on the end of our fork. We're making choices every day. We just need to start becoming aware that we can make better decisions. We can put healthier food in our body on a more consistent basis. And over time, that can have a huge impact instead of having this be what's on your plate. I mean, look, I know we can do this. I know you can do it. I know that we can get this word out to people and teach people how to do this. I'm cheering people on. This has got to be an opportunity that we take to use this thing to the best, and that we really start examining our life. We look at some of the habits that we have. We try to overlay those bad habits with good habits, and we start to learn how to make transformative choices in our lives. I mean, this is what people like me are all about, and companies like mine are all about, is helping people learn how to change. So I want you to pay attention to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we should be very hopeful. What I'm saying is we can learn how to change. And what I'm saying is we're all in this together, and we must do this. We can't do it one person at a time. We have to do it family units at a time. We have to do it communities at a time. This is a choice that's going to impact families. It's going to impact communities. And it can stretch out and affect the entire world. And I'm going to tell you, I believe that just like we saw this disease spread, we can see health spread throughout the world. We need to do this because we're all in it together, and I know that you can do it. It's time to start thinking about taking advantage of this situation and using it for making changes in your life that are going to impact your health and impact the health of your family. I know you can do it. You just got to start becoming a little bit more aware. And let's use this thing that's awful that's going on as a positive time to make some changes that are going to make you less susceptible and less vulnerable the next time something comes around. Because mark my word, it's going to come around. But besides taking care of ourselves, we need to get people taking care of the planet too. Have a great day.